Hey everyone, welcome to yet another session of our check-in. Just get my camera right. So this is the second session of the new year. My name is Mumshad and Pramodh, and I'll be your host for this session. We have some exciting things lined up for today. Some updates about what we've been doing, updates about the cohorts, and I also have a special guest who will be joining me, sharing their Kubestronaut and Golden Kubestronaut journey. So let's get into it. So wherever you're from, do drop a message in the chat. So let me know where you're coming from, where you're logging in from, and let us know your name and your location. Let me share my screen, and I think we can get started. All right, so I think this is the second session of the year. We got started in the beginning of the year, beginning of January, with 3 new cohorts that we're starting. So we have the Kubestronaut and Golden Kubestronaut and the AWS AI Practitioner cohorts that we've started. And going forward, you'll see a lot more of these sessions with updates from all of these cohorts. So what we're going to do is we'll first gloss over some of those who have recently completed the certifications. So you should be able to see all of them on LinkedIn, but I've just captured them here, and we're going to congratulate them together here. We have some new courses and updates on some of the existing courses that we've been working on. So I'll share a little bit about that. I have some ways for you to start 2026 if you haven't planned already. We'll look at the leaderboards and some of the updates there. And then we also have some updates about KubeCon, and we're going to be there and some details about that. And then we'll talk to our guest. So just to get started, we have a few of those from the community who have recently completed their certification. So we have Paras Jani, who's I think he's a network engineer. Who's recently completed the KCSA exam. So congratulations to Paras. We have Samsur Rahman, who's recently completed the KCSA as well. Congratulations to Samsur. We have Jay Shankar, who is a CCSP and CISSP, an AI and ML Ops executive. And he's also, he's recently completed the Kubestronaut journey. So congratulations to Jay Shankar. We have Momna Shahid, who's recently completed her CKA. Congratulations to Momna. We have Kelvin Manavar, who's also recently completed the CKA. We have Nirmal Raj, who's recently completed his Kubestronaut journey. We have Vivek Dixit, who's recently completed the CKA. Ahmed, who's recently completed A as well. Is that from Egypt? Ahmed from Egypt, looks like it. And then we have, so congratulations to everyone who's recently completed their Kubestronaut and Kubernetes certifications. A few others from the community. So Yasin, who has completed the AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate certification. Congratulations to Yasin. We have Sujit Kumar, who's recently done the Certified GitOps Associate. We have Osher, who's recently completed the AWS Solutions Architect as well. We have Wissam Khadri, who's recently done a SkillCred certification that's developing Helm charts. We have Cosme Cabello, who's recently completed the CNPE certification. Congratulations to Cosme. And then we have Dandenia, who's recently completed the Google Cloud Certified Digital Leader certification. So congratulations to all those who have recently completed their certifications. We'll move on to what you can start with 2026 if you haven't planned already. So we have a few options for you. So the cohorts have been doing really well. We have a lot of people joining the cohort. And if you see throughout LinkedIn, you'll see a lot of them who has recently completed their Kubestronaut certification, and a lot of them have started around the same time last year. So this is something that we would like to continue. So we have recently started a new cohort in January, so you can join it by going to cohorts.KodeKloud.com, and then depending on the progress of your course, you will be able to see yourself in the leaderboard. Depending on the certifications you complete and the progress on the cohort on the learning platform, you'll be able to see your progress there. And then we have the Golden Kubestronaut cohort, which requires you to complete the 15 Kubernetes certifications. And then the one new thing that we recently started is the AWS AI Practitioner cohort, which is led by Michael Forrester, and that is also available. So if you go to cohorts.KodeKloud.com, you'll be able to see all of these and join in on the new cohorts. The applications to the cohorts closes in another couple of days. So by the end of Jan, we usually close the cohort applications, and then we usually start new cohorts around April in Q2. Apart from certifications and cohorts around certifications, a couple of other things we recently launched were the 100 days activities. So we had the 100 days of DevOps and 100 days of cloud. These are hands-on 100 days tasks. So you get one task every day and you complete them. As the same goes for cloud as well. So you get a free, you get access to an AWS cloud account and where you're tasked to do something each day. So go to engineer.kodekloud.com to access that. Let me quickly share that, give you a quick walkthrough. So this is the 100 days of DevOps and cloud that I was referring to. So you have 100 tasks here, one that you would do each day. So you have a simple task to start with, like setting up a Linux user, creating a temporary user, securing root SSH access, things like that. And as you go, there's some tasks around Git and some tasks around Docker, and it Grafana, Prometheus, and it kind of gets more and more complex as you go. So do check it out. And then we have a similar one for cloud as well. So cloud is distributed into two. So you have AWS and Azure. And if you go to AWS, again, you have 50 tasks for AWS and 50 tasks for Azure. So the AWS tasks are simple in the beginning, and they, as you go, it gets complicated. And similarly, the Azure tasks, again, simple to start, and then eventually it gets complicated. So do check it out. And if you go to cohorts, these are the 3 cohorts I was referring to. So if you'd like to start and join the AWS AI Practitioner cohort, if you're a beginner to AI and you're trying to figure out what is the best way to get started, this is a community that's learning together. So we have a Discord channel that's associated with the cohort. There are talks that happen there, questions that can be answered by our trainers there. There are sample questions. So you can join this cohort, and then you get access to be part of everyone else who are kind of going through that journey. So check these out. Some of the new courses that are coming out. So we just released a course on Google ADK. So Google ADK is Google's agent development kit that is used for building AI agents. So if you're new to AI, new to the world of AI, I would say start with, we have an AI learning path. Start with the AI fundamentals. Learn about, there are courses on LangChain and LangGraph, and Google's ADK is kind of Google's own version of building AI agents. So definitely check it out. A couple other courses we released were around programming fundamentals, AI-assisted Ansible course, and then we also have the Google Cloud Professional Data Engineer certification. So do check them out. A couple of them that are coming out. There's a K-Agents, so host your AI agents on Kubernetes course. That's going to be coming out soon. There's the AWS DevOps Professional Certification course that's going to be coming out. And then there's a foundational course on data structures and algorithm that will be coming out soon. So do keep an eye out. A quick progress on the cohorts. So last year we did 4 cohorts, 1 each quarter, and we plan to do the same this year. So the first 2 have now been completed, and you'll be able to see if you're joined as part of the cohort 3 or 4, you should be doing either the CKS or the CKAD certification now. So you can see the status of these if you go to cohorts.kodekloud.com. CubeCon. So we're going to be at CubeCon Europe in March. That's in Amsterdam between 23rd to 26th of March. If you haven't purchased your tickets already, we have some discounts available. So if you apply the code KodeKloud, you'll be able to get that. So we're going to be there. We have a booth, and I'll be there. Some of our other trainers are going to be there. So if you happen to be around the area, if you are based in Europe, then definitely try to make it. We also have a few of our talks that were selected. So me and Michael Forrester will be delivering a talk at the Cloud Native University. This is going to be around how Kubernetes actually ships. So an educator's guide to core releases, SIGs, and staying current. We have Nurhan, who has, let's move her image here. So we have Nurhan, who's got her talk selected. This is a tutorial, AI on Kubernetes without the chaos. So building reproducible ML environments with Argo and Kubeflow. So that's going to be a very interesting one. It's like I think it's a workshop kind of session, a longer session. It's going to have labs and everything. So very interesting session. And then we also have Abhinav, who is going to be delivering a talk around backend first IDP, so a production roadmap with Argo CD, Crossplane, and OPA. So that's going to be interesting as well. Yeah, there are some discount coupons available for certification. I think Linux Foundation is running a flash sale now. So if you plan to buy any of the certification, this is a good time. All right. So right now, I'd like to bring in our special guest. So we have Pramodh Kumar, who is a Golden Kubestronaut. Sorry, I think my camera just dropped. Just give me a second. Be back. Yeah. So Pramodh, welcome to this session. Thank you so much for your time. You are a Golden Kubestronaut. You have 4 AWS certifications, 5 Azure, 15 Atlassian. You're a Atlassian community champion, and PeopleCert ambassador, 5 times GitHub. Is that 5 GitHub certifications?
Yes.
Okay, and 6 GitLab certifications. Amazing. ITIL4, Safe 6, pretty impressive profile. Tell us a little bit about you, who you are, where you're from, and what do you do?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Mumshad, and hello all. So I come from a DevOps background, and I've been working in DevTools for past 7 years now, and an humble graduate engineer starting career in one of the uh, software companies. I was interested in DevOps right from my career beginning. I started from Atlassian and DevOps background, where we used to set up the platform, help developers and engineers use the platform and then adopt it. So that's where I started my career, and from there the journey began shifting towards DevOps as well. Additionally, learning about cloud, picking up few tools from DevOps background, and then going through them. Since my company background is services, professional services, that's where the interest started. So now, today, I hold all the Atlassian certifications, since my background was from Atlassian. And then again, the cloud native environment is very important today for any company, right? Any organization. So with that in mind, I have developed an interest in Kubernetes, DevOps, Docker, and then the DevOps as well. So with that, I started learning Kubernetes, Docker, Linux, everything that is relevant for platform engineering and DevOps. So that's where I completed Golden Kubestronaut as well. So this is my background, Mumshad.
Great, awesome, yeah. So you've been working for 6 years with Dev Tools, you said, and they are a services company. So you probably work
Yes.
on different projects. How does your day to day look
Uh,
like?
Sure. So, DevTools is a professional services company, and we have a vast clientele where we see different sectors of customers working with us, and many of them are having multiple tools where need to adopt. In the sense, on a day-to-day basis, we go through these activities where we work with platform engineers, DevOps engineers, product managers to understand their requirements and then work towards implementing it. So it would mostly shift towards platform engineering as we call it today, but back in the days it was not introduced, right? So it was basically an application support role that I had,
Got it.
and DevOps as well.
Got it. And how has it evolved over the past 6 years? Like, how did you start, and how has your role changed now after maybe, now that you've uh, got a lot of certifications? So it's clear that you've kept yourself up to date. You've been learning. So how has that impacted your role at your company?
Certainly. So I'd like to take you through a beginning and a scenario where I used to work as a graduate engineer, right? I used to help my seniors with most of their tasks, where I was observing an opportunity to automate something through scripts, because those were the days where we didn't have AI or anything. Even Kubernetes was new back in 2020, right? And even Docker as well. So I was checking an opportunity to see where I could automate the tasks, and I was getting into it either through Python or Bash or even JavaScript. Um, so that started as an opportunity to learn more things about DevOps as we were getting into similar projects back then. And then that role shifted towards DevOps engineer, and then I slowly started picking up things to solutioning, where we were um getting into analyzing the customer requirements, mostly where it was a new implementation itself in the or customer organization. So with that, I got into a role as DevSecOps consultant. And then these days, it is shifted to solution architect, where I work with my team to help them with implementing solutions, Mumshad.
Awesome. Yeah, pretty interesting. So maybe let's talk about Kubernetes. So at what stage did you get exposed to Kubernetes, and how did you start this whole Kubernetes certification journey?
Certainly. So here's the thing. My Kubernetes journey is quite interesting as I see it today. I wouldn't have understood this in back in 2021 or 2022. So as I was seeing an opportunity to automate the tasks, right? Most of the scripts wouldn't work in customer environment that we were developing. So that's where Docker hit my mind, and it was easy for uh, customer to run the Docker containers and run any automations. So with that, I got introduced to Docker, where we were just passing on the Docker images, and they could build it and then complete the tasks, right? The automations. And even though, I mean, since it was a restricted environment, that's all we had. Otherwise, we could have gone with something like cloud services to run the automated tasks. So with what we had in hand, that was the way to go. And I got introduced to Docker, and that's when Kubernetes hit my mind, and then I got interested in learning Kubernetes. So I committed to learning Kubernetes, right? And all these applications as well are tied to Kubernetes very tightly, where we either interact with developer community and then even the engineering community in most of the customer organizations. Since we work with enterprise customers, uh, had Kubernetes scenarios. So we had to learn and keep updated as we were in the professional services industry. Otherwise, we would be left behind, right? So thing is that was the factor that drove me to learn Kubernetes and then other cloud native tools as well. And then that's when I was searching for the platform that could really help um, the Kubernetes journey for me, and I started with CodeKloud.
Nice. So you said you started learning Kubernetes. So you started with Docker because you wrote scripts that wouldn't work in the customer environments. I'm guessing that's because they have different environments, different systems than what you had, and it must have
Yes,
been the dependencies and stuff like that would have been hard for you to port over. So you felt that it would be easy if you containerize it, you create an image, and then you run that in the customer environment.
certainly. Yeah,
Um,
that was the scenario.
and then and I, personally I too started off like that. Like I think a lot of us started using Docker not to like run a production grade application and host it on or an orchestrator or anything, but as
Mhm.
a tool to just help package the application and get it working in other environments. My journey was pretty much similar to that. When I first started, I was doing a lot of automations around VMware and the VMware ecosystem, and
Mhm.
we were writing a lot of scripts that would automate the end-to-end provisioning of this VMware cloud. There are a bunch of services that needed to be automated. And
Right.
originally, we had a bunch of scripts that were just tied together. And I was working with some of the other developers. It was very hard to get all of us to work together. We had to provision VMs and make sure they had the same configuration and things like that. And that's where I also came across Docker as an easy way to, for all of us to work together. And then, so how did it go from Docker to like Kubernetes? Was that were you actually running any kind of production grade applications? Did you have the need to like orchestrate containers, or was it more like a requirement from uh, your business to have these many people like certified in Kubernetes or things like that?
So before going into that question, I want to share one more story where not only Docker drove me to, I mean, not only the fact that the automation scripts were not working in the customer environment drove me to learn Docker, but at the same time, that was the same case for even Terraform as well, where uh, the scripts that were written to automate some of the tasks were not working, and then even Terraform helped me with making those automated tasks easier. And again, Docker helped me to containerize the packages and then um, run those automated tasks in the customer environment. But it was the same case with Terraform as well. So I'd like to take that opportunity to mention Terraform. And coming to your question, what drove learning Kubernetes, and what was the factor that I got into the Kubernetes journey, right? So it was both, Mumshad. So I got inspiration from many of the community folks as I was engaged with most of the community platforms, right from Docker, Kubernetes, Atlassian, GitHub. Um, I was seeing the trend where it was mostly a containerized uh, environments would be uh, a change in the days, I mean, from 2022 to 2023. That was one of the I mean those were the days where all of the movement was happening with app modernization, where on-premise environments were migrated to cloud, and then it was either cloud native services or containerized environments that were driving the production grade in applications, right? And with this, since we also had GitHub and GitLab implementation in hand, we had to develop CI/CD templates, which involved a lot of writing Docker scripts and then even CI/CD pipelines as well. So that required knowledge on Kubernetes as well to understand what is going on. So even though I really did not get involved into managing Kubernetes production get great clusters at that time, it was really important to understand the topics, and then that drove me to learn Kubernetes.
Got it. Yeah. Awesome. So, sorry, do you want to share anything more?
Yeah, I mean, additionally, even GitHub Actions was developing so much fast
Yeah.
during the time from 2019 to 2021, right? And that
Yeah.
was also one of the factors where a lot of these custom developed scripts that were there in Jenkins had to be moved to even custom developed workflows in GitHub Actions. So we had to understand what is going on behind the scenes, where they had where customer organizations had developed the scripts for deployment, right? And we had to convert them. So this was the driving factor.
Got it. Yeah. Interesting. So, I think you're in a unique position where, uh, because you're in a services company, you are working with a lot of customers, and a lot of these customers have very, very varied and different requirements. And so you have to uh, be knowledgeable across a bunch of these different projects. It's not like you're working in one company and you have this set infrastructure and you just focus on that for like many years. Instead, like
Absolutely.
you have to have that knowledge about like GitLab and GitHub Actions and Jenkins all at the same time, and know how to go from
Certainly.
one to the other.
And that was the reason I took even SAFE and ITIL certifications. So although the ITIL certification was one of the business driver from uh, our company, the later part of the certifications allowed me to even understand in-depth concepts of ITIL topics, be it the incident management. Nowadays, they have come up with even AI ops framework, where how the tool should support a large organization, mid-sized organization um, with the tools that should support the uh, process, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was very fun learning. Thing is, most of these are just numbers, right? But the real achievement is not the achievement, but what we get out of this is the foundational concept where there is someone that has laid the path to really understand the platform, what's the purpose of the platform that they've built. So this is what we will get to know about the product when we go through that structured learning, and that is what I've got, I would say, really. So even if we take Golden Kubestronaut, right, the way that it was built right from beginning, I took certifications from 2024. So back then it was very consistent with Kubernetes learning that I had to go through. I was I mean, I started from CKA, honestly. I didn't take KCNA, but at the time when I had to take CKA, I was very nervous. I didn't take it the first time. I actually failed the first time that I took because of nervousness. But then I took KCNA, which gave me a lot of confidence because I had already gone through CKA exam, right? And then the next time I sat for CKA, it was very comfortable. The questions that I had seen were very easy, I would feel, because of the practice that I did. And then it was the same for even CKS as well. That practice and then the learning is what is required to go through. Um, I mean, have that confidence and then appear for the exam. So that drove me again to take the next set of certifications in 2025. Although I completed CKS back in September 2024. The later part of the journey was a bit difficult because I had to complete few events. I was even there in Delhi CubeCon that
Yeah.
happened in 2024, right? So afterwards, it was packed with schedules with customer work. So right, in professional services company, it's all busy work during the holidays. So and then I started again in January, and the way that I structured learning was again in group. So I took the Kubernetes part first, and then I went over to orchestrating the deployments through Kubernetes, which was Argo CD, and I took both the certifications in one go, maybe between a week. There was a gap. And then again, it was an observability certifications that I took, where I focused on open telemetry, Prometheus, and all. And later, it was quite difficult to choose the set of certifications because uh, it was all new to me, be it the backstage. I had some experience from Atlassian where they have a similar product called Compass, but again, it's different knowing the concepts where we had to go through the go through at least like a revision, right? So I took certified backstage associate exam, and then it was Cilium and Quaverno. uh, so later again, I had some break because I was traveling, and then I was determined to complete that within 2025. I had a goal to complete it within October because there was one certification coming up, and 14 became 15. So I wasn't able to pass that day. I mean, mark the date. So unfortunately, I had crossed that date, and again, Istio was something that I had a familiarity with, but I wanted to revise and take the labs. So that I did, and then I completed it. So with this in confidence, all that left was Linux and engineering platform associate certification, the new one, CNPE. CNPE and Linux Foundation were very easy because the series of certifications that had already laid the foundation gave me that confidence to appear for the exam just by going through the course once. Right? I know Linux is something everyone say basic, and we must complete that before even learning Docker. Um, since I had a background of learning Linux right from initial days, um, Linux was something easy for me, and then I took that. I mean, I appeared for the course, and then I just took it. It was not that difficult, but again, the same was with even CNPE as well. Since I had gone through all these certifications, the courses, and had a structured learning path, it didn't feel difficult for me. Although I took one of the courses, um, all I had to do was maybe revise a few concepts and then take it. So thing is that structured learning, what was laid out by um, CNCF and then Linux Foundation, gave that confidence to appear for the platform engineering associate exam as well. So this is how I think would really help uh, graduates and those who are interested in um, appearing for the certifications, right? Would really benefit from that structured learning.
Yeah.
I know I took too
Makes
much
sense.
time
Yeah.
explaining this, but
Yeah. Don't
this
worry.
was
I
my
mean,
golden Kubestronaut
yeah,
journey.
yeah. So the Golden Kubestronaut journey is going to take a little bit of time to explain because there's so much in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, certainly.
Um, but maybe we start with the Kubestronaut, right? In the Kubestronaut
Mhm,
journey, if you had to like do it all over again, what is the
mhm.
sequence that you would follow?
So I would certainly pick either CKA or KCNA as the first bet because that gives the confidence to rest of the certifications. Although we might take a case to case scenario based on the experienced people having CKAD experience or CKS experience. I'm talking about graduates who are learning new. right? DevOps engineers that have those who want to learn new tool. So with that, in case if I'm going to take the Kubestronaut certification, it would certainly be KCNA, because that gives the confidence to appear for the next set of certifications. And we all know that if we take CKA, most of the concepts are covered in CKAD, and then even some of them in CKS as well. So that lays out the foundation both from concepts perspective and then the hands-on perspective, right? Because we have a lot of hands-on labs in CKA that would cover the foundation for CKAD and then CKS. And then once I'm completed with KCNA, I would appear for CKA, and then maybe CKAD, which again would be easier one as I've seen. Then KCSA, because that gives the confidence for CKS, right? And then at last CKS. So this would be the certification path that I would take, Mumshad. And again, even the concepts that we go through, right, when we take this path is very comfortable. It's not like if we take, I mean, assume if we take CKD or CKS, right, that would completely disrupt the series of concepts that we would go through. CKD doesn't lay out the foundation of maybe what we might go through in CKA. So that's what I feel.
Makes sense. Yeah. Cool. Starting with CKA. Oops, my camera. Just 1 second. Can you see me now?
Not right.
1 second. I think I have a loose cable. Okay, while I fix my camera, you can still hear me, right?
Yes, Mumshad.
Yeah. Can you share the same for the Golden Kubestronaut, your journey for what would you recommend be the right journey for Golden Kubestronaut?
Sure. So the approach that one would take is to group the certifications that will help um, when they learn the concept. So as I mentioned earlier, when you see the series of certifications that Golden Kubestronaut has laid out, right? We get observability, we get GitOps, we get IDP, internal development platform, we get Kubernetes associated certifications, be it the Helium or Kubernetes, right? And then Istio as well. And at last, we have LFCS and platform engineering certifications. So the important thing is to consider here is that we must know how to group the I mean, what basic foundations that we have. Suppose if you want to lay out the foundation, maybe with GitOps, start with that, right? Observability, you have two certifications. So what I would suggest is to start with GitOps, because that is very familiar with again the Kubernetes concepts, right? And then we have Istio that could be completed as well. So once you have completed both Argo and GitOps, we could move over to Istio. And then we have Queverno and Cilium that is again associated with Kubernetes concepts. And then we could move into observability, OpenTelemetry, and then Prometheus, right? Um, and at last, LFCS uh, and platform engineering certifications. Of course, this could be reordered based on the comfortability of one who is taking the certification. But the plan here is to group the certifications and then plan them to take uh, in one go, because it will help in consistency when they learn these concepts, and also familiarity as well, is what I would suggest. So there is no specific order that I would suggest, but to look at grouping the certifications and then taking them. It wouldn't make sense to take Prometheus and then GitOps and then again open telemetry certification, right? So grouping the certifications is what I would recommend, and then planning out the path.
Got it.
No, that is
And in terms of like
what
difficulty
I would.
level for these certifications, what did you find was the most difficult versus easy?
So I found the easiest certification was KCNA and then KCSA, because I had background of Docker, Linux, and all these things, and then one who is familiar with even Kubernetes concepts as well would find it easier. Once they've gone through the cloud native introduction, right? Cloud native concepts introduction. So that lays out the foundation for all of these certifications. So once they are through, I think rest of them will be easier. But again, the most that we have to focus on is Linux foundation, uh, right? Because we must not forget foundation at any time. So Linux lays out that path for every other uh, hands-on based performance exams, be it CKA, CKAD, CKS, ISTIO, right? Um, so I would consider giving the importance to LFCS and then CKS. Those were the ones that I required preparation. In the sense, LFCS is something that I've been preparing from whole my career, right? So I wouldn't consider it that way. But again, if someone is new to DevOps journey, LFCS is very important, since that is also one of the requirements for Golden Kubestronaut. So focus on that, and then CKS would be the one to beat. So those are the ones that would require focus, and rest of the certifications would certainly require its focus on learning the concepts, and then going through few tutorials as well, right? But the easier ones were KCNA and then KCSA. The toughest ones were CKS and then LFCS, from what I have experienced. I think Mumshad is having some issues. I'll take few questions till then. Hey, Mumshad. Um, Thank you, Rasil. Um, the journey from Kubestronaut to Golden Kubestronaut opened, yeah, lot of opportunities, because as I focused towards learning these concepts, right? When I used to interact with customers, I, I got the opportunity to learn more about um, what their what their environment was, and if we were working with one of the service providers, right, how their customer environments were there. Earlier, IDP was something that was not there at all, or it was just a buzzword, right? Nowadays, since Spotify has made it open source, it has become general, and then even now platform engineering is something that is that has its own importance. So certainly it has opened a lot of opportunity from the opportunity wise, career wise. I wouldn't call it career wise, but yeah, certainly the learnings that I've done has opened a lot of opportunities to speak with customers, be open, and then understand more with respect to these new things that are coming up in cloud native environment and concepts. So
Awesome. Hey, thanks. Can you hear me now? Sorry, I had
yes,
some issues.
Mumshad, I
Okay,
think.
back. All right. Yeah. So thanks for sharing that. I think there are a couple of other questions as well that we could take. I think one of the questions we had in the beginning was around how do you clear so many certificates? Like how much do you study in a day? Like what is your? Can you maybe share a little bit about your the best practices, or how much time do you spend studying for a certification, or any tips or tricks around that?
Certainly. I would like to, go through this with a story when I started Kubernetes certifications. And some people might laugh at this. Thing is, I don't, I was not interested in putting my time during my work. So this was one of the things what I had in mind. So, thing is, I'm both a night owl and then a early bird. I quote from Office, if you know. So, thing is, it was either a late night or a early morning study for me. So, most of the times, what I used to do was find a. So this is again a tip, right? You need to find the comfortable spot where you need to focus. Uh, and it for me it was either um, an office space that I had, or my room in my home. So both of them were very comfortable, very nobody should distract, even your cell phone. So when you're reading, keep your cell phone away, uh, shift from social media, even shift from the laptop notifications if you're getting mails or anything like that. So that is the first distractor that you should avoid, right? And then if you're not focused on sitting through series of videos where it is more than 2 3 minutes, right? We know these days it is common where people don't sit for too long, but that is very much required. So if you're feeling um, maybe strained, do it in a bit-sized lessons. That's what I do when I usually watch the videos. I break them into pieces and try to understand what they are saying. So reiterating in your mind will certainly keep the momentum to watch the videos even if it is 30 minutes long. So you have an option to pause the video, think of what they're saying maybe for it, and then go through the video again if you are not understood. So with this, I have to speak about this. There is a TLS video of Mumshad in Kubernetes. It is 20 minutes long. I have watched that more than 5 times in a day to understand what CA certificates are all about, right? In Kubernetes, because those are the things that makes Kubernetes the hard way easier. And I will never forget that in my life.
Yeah, I think that was a
Certainly.
bit complicated, uh,
Yes.
setup for the Kubernetes hard way. So all the certificates, there's like, what is that, 15, 20 different certificates of services communicating with each other. And yeah, I think it took a bit of a time to put that together, and it ended up being like a 20-minute video. But yeah, I'm
Yeah,
glad that
yeah. So
that
with
was helpful.
certainly. So to conclude, find a perfect spot, right? It doesn't matter if you put 2 minutes in a day, or 20 minutes in a day, or 20 hours in a day. Sorry, 2 hours in a day. You have to put some time in a day to make that consistent effort each day. That's what matters, right? And again, my colleague was sharing something today where She was going through the 100 days of DevOps and then 100 days of cloud as well, right? Um, so the thing is, the concept that was brought in um, to this was to make that consistent effort every day to learn something new. So make that consistent effort to put the time, uh, at least maybe an half an hour or 1 hour, how much effort you can put in, right? Put that consistent effort is what will bring that change, is what I would say.
Yeah, no, totally makes sense. There's another question. So I missed the CKA by one question earlier, but I'm trying again. How can I prepare in a better way? So it's very unfortunate that you miss it by one question. And but don't worry, like a lot of people have that, right? Like a lot of people actually miss just by a tiny mark. So it's a bit unfortunate. But to promote, like, what are your you said you also did not make it the first time, so maybe yeah, you can share that experience.
Certainly. So the first time that I had failed was due to a lot of reasons. I would say. Additionally, the thing is, I didn't um, prepare for few concepts that usually comes in the exam. So thing is, prepare as much as possible from hands-on perspective, and then get your hands dirty in your environment, right? I know the environments are available through cloud, and then um, it's usually a repeated questions that you would practice, right? So thing is, while you do that and then you get practiced and then you feel great solving those tasks, um, observe how much you got in the mock exams that you first appeared, right? Take few scenarios from the playgrounds where you have just plain Kubernetes environment and then solve the tasks. Um, so with that, you would gain the confidence to prepare the better way, right? There are a lot of tasks in GitHub who have developed, right? So once you are comfortable with the course that you have taken, and then the tasks that you have solved throughout the course, right? Appear for the mock exam without getting any help, just by looking through the documentation, how much you are comfortable by looking at it, and then copying that to the terminal, and then by solving it. That is how you have to prepare. And then again, apart from that, as I mentioned, you have so many challenges in GitHub which you could pick one and then solve that in the playground. That will also help. So thing is, as you prepare for these challenges, that's how you gain confidence. Course labs are just a better way to prepare and then understand the core concepts, but challenges are what gives you the confidence and then prepares you in a better way to appear for the exam, and even to uh, prepare better for the real world scenarios as well. So challenges are the way. If you solve challenges, you are prepared.
Awesome. Have you I saw that you did, I think, 5 AWS and 5 Azure and others. So, like, what are those certifications, Promote, like the ones that you did? And have you done the AWS AI practitioner?
I have done AWS AI practitioner, and I must take the opportunity here to say that I've registered in all the cohorts, the first one. Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, the other AWS certifications that I've done is cloud practitioner, solution architect, developer, and yeah, the AI practitioner one.
Got it.
So these are
Awesome.
the ones. Yeah.
So is it targeted at AI beginners with no cloud experience, or does it fit into the broader AWS cloud learning journey?
Okay, those who are aware of skill builder, um, this is a free course in AWS, of course, who has some experience in AWS. And then again, it takes you through a journey where it will explain AI concepts, machine learning concepts for the beginners, right? It will help you with use cases where AI and ML are very helpful to the real world. and the same does with KodeKloud course as well, right? And then it expands into how AI and ML services in AWS are very helpful, and then talking about the real world use cases as well. So that this is the foundation that is laid out to understand how AWS is very helpful for, I mean, how AWS services are very helpful for bringing out those AI and ML services, right? So yeah, it helps you with the broader cloud learning journey if you're focused on machine learning and then AI use cases. So that is where it will fit into your AWS cloud journey. So if you're also talking about the solution architect as well, right? Um, the AI practitioner certification would really help lay those foundation concepts. I would say. Anything you want to add, Mumshad?
No, I agree. So I think we spoke about it a little bit last time, and
Mm-hmm.
I think any AI certification these days, if they're in the foundational certification, then they cover a lot of fundamentals that are not very specific to the vendor, right? In this case, from what I understand, the AWS AI practitioner, there are a lot of fundamental knowledge that the exam covers that are not specific to AWS, and then of course there are some
Yes,
towards the end. There's a lot of that, but I think today the
certainly.
most important thing for anyone learning AI is just to get themselves up to speed about the foundational elements of AI, right? About LLMs and their parameters and what are AI agents and things like that. I think that's the most important thing as of today. And then of course you can, depending on what area you're moving in, if you're an infra person, then you most likely want to do things that are related to how you host AI related workload or AI agents on infrastructure. If you're more of a developer, then you're probably thinking how to build AI agents and things like that. So either way, I think any AI certification today will force you to kind of learn the basics and fundamentals of AI. So it's worth it. The other question I have here is, so my exam is on Saturday, but I'm worried about the 2-hour limit. What is the best tactics to tackle the 17 questions?
Should I take this up,
Yep.
Mumshad?
Go ahead.
Okay, all right. Thank you. So here's the thing. As I was saying earlier, the challenges are the way to go, and then that's where if you solve them, you get the confidence, right? So even now you have time. So what I would suggest is if you have solved the challenges, go through them again and then try out different challenges that would be there on the playground and try and see how much time it takes for you to understand the challenge that you might see the first time, and then get that momentum. So in the exam, when you sit and then try to analyze the question and then understand, and you feel the confidence to solve it, right? So you have to do the verification also at the same time to move to the next question. um, I hope that you have covered throughout your learning journey as well. But the thing is, if you cross that maybe 7-8 minutes mark for that one question, just run through your mind and then analyze the question again. And if you feel not confident about that question, move to the next question. You have a lot of time to later solve that question, maybe coming back once you have solved other questions as well. So thing is, what I had experienced was that I sat for one question 15 minutes straight the first time that I took CKA, and that killed a lot of time. And I wasn't able to even look at the 15th question that was there in the exam. I was so sad, and that's when I realized, even when others were giving the exam tips, right? And you might have seen this as well, from a lot of them giving the exam tips that that you don't have to focus on one question and then give that question a lot of time. If you feel you're taking too much time, so skip that question. Go through the other questions that you feel easy, and then come back to it. Look at it again. You may get the different idea to solve it, or maybe you feel confident to answer after coming back at it.
Yeah.
That's the suggestion. That's the best suggestion that I
Yeah.
can give at this moment.
Yeah, I think
because
everyone
your
makes
exam is on Saturday.
yeah, I think everyone makes the mistake of like spending too much time on a single question, and this is something
Hmm.
I've done too the first time I took the exam. And I think the best practice is to try and get maybe all the easy ones first, so
Hmm.
you don't feel like you've missed out, and don't spend too much time on any a single question, right? So set a time limit, 5-10 minutes max, for harder
Yes.
questions, right? Smaller number for easier questions. But if you get stuck, or if you're not able to figure it out, just keep moving, because you don't need 100% to pass the exam. Of course, you're given a little bit of leeway. So 70% if you can hit, that'd be great. So yeah, I mean that would be my recommendations too. And since Saturday you have a few days, so obviously spend as much time as you can on the mock exams. And ultimately it also comes down to the speed, um, with the hands on keyboard, right? So as much time as you can practicing, the better it is. um, yeah, another person also says, Rajneesh also says that the challenge phase was time management. A few questions could have solved, but yeah, they couldn't get to. Partially, again, the same answer to that. I think it's important to manage the time well. Try to get all the easy ones first, and then go for the harder ones later. Yeah, I think one of the last question we can take is, they're good. Thank you. Can we have a course where we deploy a Python test framework to Kubernetes? So there are a bunch of Kubernetes courses other than the certification ones. There's a troubleshooting course. There's a one on there are many others that use Kubernetes. If you have anything specific, do let us know. Go to request.kodekloud.com and drop in a note. If someone has suggested this already, then you can upvote, and then we usually look at that list to pick our future courses. All right.
I have a suggestion here, Mumshad,
Yep.
for this
Yep.
question.
Yep.
So since the user is here looking at experiencing the deployment to Kubernetes environment, maybe Python test framework, right? So I have seen one of the courses where it is called Challenge Labs. I think I'm referring to the specific one called CKAD, Kubernetes Developer Challenge Labs. So that would really give you the idea to deploy Python test framework as well. I think if you go through that, you would get the idea of how you can deploy the Python test framework to Kubernetes, because that contains stateful sets,
Hmm.
the PVCs, the network, the service. I mean the services and everything. At
Yep.
least the vanilla one,
Agree.
basically
Makes
on the
sense.
Kubernetes.
Yep. Agree. Cool. All right. I think we're at the end of the time. Well, thank you so much, Pramod, once again, um, for joining us and sharing your experience. Really appreciate it. And
Thank you
again,
for
wish you all
having
the
me.
best. Yeah, wish you all the best to all the everything that you're going to be doing in the future. Any insights on what are your next steps? Like, what's the next certification you're planning for?
Certainly. So, AI and security is the year for me this year, and I've laid out some plans in order to achieve some of the security certifications, and then have some goals to even develop few frameworks around that, and then AI again. So these days, since it is mostly solutioning, right? We don't have to run through and sit through reading documentations. So when we have to find some best solutions, it is obviously important that we have to go through the documentation. um, and of course the AI tools are there to scrap through the documentation and then give the best information, right? But when it comes to having multiple tools solutioning, AI tools still not uh, still not does the better job at it.
Yeah.
So I'm working through that as well to develop an AI agent where we could look at maybe using that to make my day-to-day task easier. So that's
Yeah.
where I'm at.
Yeah. Makes sense. Awesome. Very exciting. Do keep us updated about everything you do. once again, thank you so much for your time, and thank you everybody for joining
Absolutely.
in. Have a great night. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.